You're listening to Dr. Erica Jones, MD. The universe needs conscious minds to observe it.
If your hair is suddenly shedding, it might not just be age. It might actually be some medications you're taking, a recent illness, or even your last diet. Now, this episode is going to cover common triggers of hair loss like medications, health conditions, hormones, and lifestyle factors. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Send this video to someone who's struggling with hair loss. I'm going to tell you why triggers matter. Many people actually have a trigger-driven shedding on top of a genetic tendency to have thinning of the hair. Now, it's important to identify and fix that trigger so that you can stabilize the hair loss without actually jumping straight to some expensive procedures or spending a lot of money on something that might not help. Now, one of the reasons why people have shedding of the hair is because of certain medications that they're taking, and they don't even think about that. So I'm here to let you know that most medication-related hair loss is telogen effluvium. It's commonly triggered by hormonal shifts, psychotropic medications, and now the popular drugs, the GLP-1s, yeah, that's triggering them too. That is triggering hair loss. Now, I'm going to go through some examples, right? This is not an exhaustive list by any means, but as I just said, the GLP-1 receptor agonist, the semaglutide, the Ozempic and Wegovy, the tirzepatide, the Mounjaro, the Zepbound, the liraglutide, the Saxenda, the Victoza. These medications can cause some hair loss. If you didn't know, GLP-1s can cause some hair loss. Another class of medications that people may not think about is oral contraceptives. So if you're starting, stopping, or switching oral contraceptives, guess what? You might experience some hair loss. Now, a couple of other medications, a couple other things, testosterone therapy might trigger some hair loss. And then we got some medications called the psychotropic class of medications. Some people might refer to these as like psych meds. A couple of those are going to be lithium, valproate, the SSRIs like sertraline, fluoxetine, and paroxetine are all indicated in hair loss. There's a bunch of other different medications that I can get to, a commonly used medications in dermatology that could cause some hair loss is isotretinoin. There's a lot of less common but well documented cases of people who have hair loss, and in these cases, like hair loss is seen, but it's seen less frequently as the ones that I mentioned before. So some of the heart drugs like beta blockers, like the propranolol, the metoprolol, the ACE inhibitors, can all be implicated in hair loss. So it's very important that you track these medications or any medications that you're taking, and that you also track your hair loss. So once you start to talk to a provider and try to figure out your triggers, these are going to be very helpful in these conversations. It's important to know not just what's happening with your body, but also I'm giving you the next steps that you need to take if you start to notice that you're losing your hair. You need to start thinking about like, well, what was I doing a couple of months before I started losing my hair? Was I under a whole lot of stress? Did I change my diet? Like, you really need to think about your lifestyle, because as I have mentioned before, your lifestyle can also trigger hair loss. So you say, well, Dr. Jones, what do you mean, like, my lifestyle? Well, if you recently switched to some type of really, drastic, like, fad diet. So if you have, like, a low protein diet that you've just really, really been digging into, and you're really excited about it because you were trying to lose weight, it's important to know that that could be the cause. And then you think about what are the medical causes, the hormonal causes like thyroid disease, where there's overactive or underactive, iron deficiency, and as I just mentioned, low protein intake. If you have a chronic illness, think about something like lupus, right? If you have had a major surgery, if you just had high fevers, if you are postpartum and you just dealt with those hormonal shifts, people who are in the perimenopausal or the menopausal states of life have also been reporting some hair loss. So if you know you are perimenopausal and going into menopause, you may expect some hair loss. Now, all of these things need to be tracked. And as I've said before, your lifestyle really plays a large part in your health. If you haven't seen my video on lifestyle medicine, make sure you check that out. I'm Dr. Erica R. Jones, MD. I'm a board certified family medicine physician that's here to guide you on your journey of living a healthy, long, thriving life.